Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jimmy, and today I'm going to share with you 3 things that you might not have known about your Galaxy S24. Now this first one, we're going to talk about charging speeds and the 3 icons that pop up indicating which speed you're charging at. So first off, you'll notice this will be a green ring with 1 lightning bolt. Now this is pretty much almost the slowest charging speed. This is just regular fast charging. Again, it's green with 1 lightning bolt. You can see on the very top, it just says fast charging. You still have super fast charging and super fast charging 2.0 after this. So if you notice a green ring with 1 lightning bolt, then you're charging at fast charging. Now this one right here is kind of with a regular charging cable that is either plugged into a 25 watt charging brick or even a 45 watt charging brick. Now what this one is giving you is super fast charging. You can see that it's kind of a turquoise color. It's a mix between blue and green, but it also gives you 2 lightning bolts. Now this one is super fast charging. It's a little bit faster than regular fast charging, but it's still not the fastest. And then lastly will be super fast charging 2.0 with a 5 amp cable along with a 45 watt power brick. You can also use a 65 watt power brick, and you don't have to worry about overcharging because all of the GAN chargers that's 45 watt or 65 watt has built-in PD, which means power delivery, which means it knows exactly how much power is the maximum power that it's able to charge your device without overpowering or overcharging. And this one is going to be that blue circle with 2 lightning bolts. So if you see the blue circle with 2 lightning bolts, you're going at super fast charging 2.0, which again is the fastest speed. And again, just to give you a little reminder, if you see this one here, it's going to be a turquoise color. It's going to be with the 2 lightning bolts. That's still super fast charging. And then the slowest is with a green circle with 1 lightning bolt. Now, topic number 2 is talking about motion photo. But before we go into that, I got a question yesterday about how my view looks when I take a look inside of my albums. I have the albums on the left-hand side with all the photos and videos on the right-hand side. Now, if yours looks like this, when you are taking a look underneath your albums tab and you tap, on albums, if yours is looking like this with no albums on the left, just swipe to the right. And it's going to open this up so you can just simply, go between anything and everything. Now, let's take a look at motion photo. There's 2 things in here that I want to show you. Now, motion photo, what it is when you go inside of your camera and it's underneath photo. It's not in portrait, it's underneath photo, and it's this icon right here. When you turn on and it's illuminated for motion photo, it actually records the 3 seconds leading up to the image being taken. So you could actually see what is happening before you take the picture, or maybe there is something that happened right before it that you kind of wish that you captured, but you missed it by a second, or you wanted to get the picture, but also the video. So I'm going to show you how you can do all this stuff here too. So when you take a look at your motion photo, you can actually see it sitting right here. It kind of plays it as a small video. When you hit on the edit icon, then you'll have this image here. This image is showing you the entire, basically key image or little video of everything that has happened. So if there's something that happened right around here that maybe you wanted one of these images instead, then you can actually set this as the key image. Or you can, again, switch it to anywhere else in the video. And then this is going to be the key image that shows inside of your gallery. And if you were to share this image, this is the key frame that will be sent if you were to hit on share and you send it as a text message or Instagram, Twitter, wherever it may go. Now, the next thing I want to show you, so that first one right here was if you go inside of the whole edit button and you can change the frame of the image. Now I'm going to show you how you can actually export this video or as a GIF. So if you take a motion photo, it doesn't matter which one you do, all of these are pretty fun. On the top right-hand side, you don't have to go to edit. Just on the top right-hand side of that motion photo, go to export, and you can actually export this as a video or GIF. And I do have to state that the video is much more smooth than trying to do a GIF. But let's say that we go inside of video. So I just exported it as a video. And if I were to go inside of the gallery, move right on over, this is the video. And then if I was to, take off the whole mute little icon, you can actually hear what was happening in the video as well. So now you have this little 3-second clip video that came from you just wanting to take a picture. But also don't forget, you can change where you want that picture to come from, even if it happened just a second before, by hitting edit and going right over here, and then switching which key image you would like to use as the stock image for that entire motion photo. And now lastly, we're going to take a look at something that's a little nerdy, but it's pretty fun to see exactly what's going on with your phone when it comes down to the amount of power it's putting out, taking a look at your frames per second, CPU, GPU. So if you took a look at your device care and you notice that there's an application that takes up a bunch of your battery, you can actually see the specific reasons why. Maybe it's just pushing off a higher graphics or GPU. So all you have to do is just unlock your developer options. So in order for you to get developer options, if you don't know how to unlock this, you want to go inside of About Phone. And then once you go inside of About Phone, tap on Software Information. This is where you'll find build number. You just want to tap build number 7 times. And then it'll say that developer mode has been unlocked. And then from here, you just go back 2 screens. And this is where you're now left with developer options. And don't forget, anytime you don't want it, you can just turn this thing off. But the easy way to actually find what we're talking about today is you can scroll all the way down, or you can just keep on scrolling until you see this little green area. Now just scroll up slightly, and this is where you're going to see the options for games. And right here, you can see GPU watch. Now for this one, when you turn this one on, they make it actually very easy for it to work for you right away. It's basically just widgets on your screen that is see-through, but you're able to get all the details about your phone with frames per second, the load, which is basically CPU, GPU, and even some information about the driver and the resolution and such. You can actually also go inside of here and you can make it smaller if you want to. So this is actually live right now. This is showing me my frames per second right around 40 and 50. It doesn't need to be at 120 right now because we're not doing any scrolling. When you do some scrolling, you'll notice that it goes up all the way. So this is just dealing with the size of it. So I have all 3 of them set up for medium. And really, that's kind of all you need to know about these. You don't really have to change any of them unless if you want them to be smaller. And then this is where if there is a couple things that you really don't care about, you can actually take off a couple of these. So maybe you only want to see the resolution. You can have that if you want. But pretty much this is what it looks like. And if you ever want to make any changes, when you swipe down, you have this little icon right here or this little notification spot that from here you can actually unlock the widgets. And now that they are unlocked, you can move them around. And if you want to put them in different orders, you can put them in different orders if you want to. But we're going to leave them the way that it is. So like I said, you want to probably just leave this one as locked. So this way you don't accidentally move it just like I did, especially if you are playing games. And this is also where you can turn it off. So if you don't want it anymore, you can hit turn off. Now the game that I want to use as example is going to be Pokemon Go, because there's actually a simple setting inside of Pokemon Go that changes all of this stuff, just so you can kind of see how it interacts with games. So right now I'm pretty much averaging, 26, about 30, 31 frames per second. Even if I was to, rotate this around, move it around, it's gonna be right around 30. So it's a way that, for the way that this game is set up, it doesn't take too much of your graphics and CPU, especially for graphics. You can see it's right around 8%. And it doesn't matter if I was to go off and try to catch a Pokemon as well too. Everything's gonna be right around 6%, 8%. Now, if I was to make a change with this one, it's pretty fun to watch. So again, we're at 30 frames per second, between 5 and 8% for GPU. Now this is where, if you notice that this game is taking more of your battery life, maybe it's because you have that native refresh on. So now you can see we're switching all the way up to 120 frames per second rather than that 31. And you can see that we're not at 8% anymore for GPU, and our CPU went up just a little bit as well, but not too much. But now the graphics of this one went from 8% all the way up to 30%. So now this is where you can kind of see, especially with this game, how much of a difference would make if you were to change a little bit of the settings of the game itself. So if there's other games that you play and there's a simple little solution of changing the refresh rate or how the game looks, some of the graphics and such, then you might want to do that. Because right now we're at 120 frames per second GPU, so the graphics is working a little bit harder than it was from before. And again, if we were to move right inside of the settings of this one, remember 120 and 16. If we go inside of advanced features and we turn off that native refresh rate, so now we're actually bringing it right back down. And here you can see that this is where we can save a little bit of battery life by playing the same game as other people. That's why it's kind of like a nerdy, fun thing to do, is to turn this on. And so you're not going to see some huge differences with YouTube or Instagram or whatever. Also, if you play with some AR camera stuff, you'll notice some big dips and changes with it as well too. It's pretty fun to see. But at this point, all you have to do is, if you don't want this on anymore, you can just go through and you can turn it off. Now, if at any point in time you want it to go right back on, you just go right inside your settings, you go back to developer options, scroll down to where you almost see that little like green area, that little green button. and then you just swipe up just a little bit more, and this is where you have your games. And here you can see it's turned off through the settings because I was able to turn it off through my notifications panel. So those were 3 things that you might not have known about your Galaxy S24. Hopefully you found some interest, or hopefully it helped you a little bit, or just learned something new. And if so, hit that like button. Also, don't forget to hit subscribe. Subscribe on the very bottom left-hand side. And if you like this video, then more than likely you'll also like this video. And I'll see you guys later.